I didn't arrive in the Black Hills of South Dakota as a marketing professor, as an ethnographer, as a scholar who was deeply passionate about market creation in low-resource environments such as the base of the pyramid, nor did I arrive there as Ronika. I arrived in the Black Hills with my Lakota name, Shunka Mach Pia Wi, Wolf Cloud Woman. And it is with that name I visited with Chief Black-Spotted Horse, who I call Izzy. And that visit with Izzy completely reframed my understanding of what leadership is. Izzy said, the chief is not the one who has the most. The chief is often the one who gives the most away. Let me tell you an example of this in action. A VP of one of the most leading investment banks in the globe visited with Izzy, did ceremony, returned back to the Big Apple cured. They called Izzy, Chief, I want to give you a gift. I want to thank you. You helped me. The chief replied, okay. A while later, a brand spanking new 4x4 vehicle arrived at the chief's place in South Dakota. Within 2 days, that car was given away. It was given to a father on the reservation who had 3 children and had tragically lost his wife in an accident. The chief's wife has often shared, if you give Izzy $1 million, it will be gone in 2 weeks. Now, Izzy isn't spending that money on himself. He is giving that money away to help the people. So in most modern systems of leadership, we often think about visibility, accumulation, the importance of growth. But in the Lakota way, leadership is about humility. It's about a deep sense of listening. And by listening, that means hearing the cloud, listening to a rock, hearing a tree, listening to your own tears, your own laughter. So emotions and empathy are important. The chief says that he is the one who has the least, because by giving, it helps you to receive. What comes to you can flow through you. And this is important to remember, because we've all been on a journey of emotions. Can you count how many times in your lifetime so far you've cried? 500? Laughed? 10,000? Been angry? 20,000? But it's through emotion and listening where you're able to hear yourself and then hear others to enable the capacity for giving. My journey then took me far away from the Black Hills to the village of Esilale. I was co-leading an immersion workshop with the Maasai community. On arrival, these beautiful nature children started swirling around me, tugging on my clothes, and repeatedly chanting, "Inanna, Inanna, Inanna." I asked Mo, our wonderful translator, what are they saying? Ah, they say, I see you. Now, I don't know what those children saw, but I knew that their way of seeing was different. And that led me to ponder on another question. what does it really mean to see? And I had the honor of being invited to work on a project with a beautiful Indigenous leader, Ramdani Kupaza, where I was honored to be the matron of a Maasai youth arts project. Matron in this context means mother. Often, the Maasai are represented by third parties. Their artistic representation is by the eyes of the others who see them, not through their own eyes or through their own ears. And in this project, we allowed the children to draw their world, how they see themselves. And it revealed the most staggeringly beautiful pieces of art. Let me share an example. There were elephants in suits. There was flamingos cooking by a fire. There was a lion with a crown looking fierce. The children were enabled to show us how they see and connect to their world. They showed an inner eye, a third eye, not an outer eye or a conforming eye to what we should be like or what society thinks we are. They revealed a truth. And so Inanna, I see you, isn't solely about your authority or about your role. Inanna is much more deeper than that. And this matters for leadership as well, because leadership doesn't solely begin with vision statements and strategy decks. Leadership is about presence. My journey then took me even farther away to the Sundarban Islands. This is a vast riparian delta surrounded by beautiful mangrove forests, the Royal Bengal tiger. But it is an islandscape that is in constant disruption, one of the most climatically vulnerable regions on Mother Earth. The people were hit by a devastating tsunami. Experts arrived. They vocalized, "This land is too dangerous. This soil is too salty. You can't stay here." In other words, leave. But the people responded with a much more powerful question. How do we live here now? This particular islander, this wonderful lady, said, "I could go to the city and just survive for the rest of my life. But this land is our karma. If there are fruits, we will stay." The Sundarban Islands showed the importance of place, of belongingness, of respect for your environment. The islanders refused to abandon themselves or their home. This concept is more than mere philosophy. It was about survival. So on this journey through the Black Hills, Tanzania, the Indian Sundarbans, I kept seeing a pattern that modern systems are obsessed with innovation, but living systems are obsessed with continuity. The Lakota showed me about listening, empathy, giving, and helping the people. The Maasai taught me about the importance of seeing, presence, retaining your culture and meaning. The Indian Sundarbans taught me that you can belong to a land, even if it hurts you. So we are facing unprecedented change in the world that we're in today. It is inevitable, but we are all in this together. So returning back and remembering a future requires an integration with past knowledge to ensure balance and harmony, to ensure that that which has sustained life long before quarterly reports and growth charts are also encompassed in what we do. So I urge you, in the next month, how could you give and reconsider how listening equates to giving? How could you see yourself as a leader, or the people in your team, or your colleague, or your fellow students differently? How could you sit with yourself and see yourself in a different way? And in the next season ahead, how can you connect better to your land, that which homes you? Perhaps you also have a tree that weathered the storms and still bears fruit. So to remember a future, it's really something that's more than just invention. We need to remember at the core who we are, and we want a future that will be wholly encompassing for all. So I leave you with a question. Show me how to live with the knowledge to create a future for the generations ahead of us.